Welcome to the John Doe Radio Show. I'm your host, John Doe, here hanging out with our good friends on Monday, our good buddies from Compassionate Pain Management, and we also have in studio with us today a very good longtime friend of mine. His name is Jason Lauve. Jason, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks, Tim. Hey, I appreciate you inviting me in. It's nice to see you guys.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Likewise. Times. Good morning, and who do we got in here from CPM today? We got Patrick and Roper.
Yes, Patrick and Roper.
I was going to say,
did you guys forget your names there for a second?
No, it was my mic. It wasn't. I had messed it up.
I had to travel to get to the mic. That's what he had to say. That's what it was, right?
It's early. I think we're still trying to wake up here.
It's a freaking Monday, yo.
It's a great weekend.
That's all that we got to know about the Monday. All right, Monday, January 23rd. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us. Also, my friend Jason Lauve, the purveyor of Cannabis Health News Magazine.
It is. Thank you for bringing that up. As you all know, I published Cannabis Health News Magazine after my acquittal about 2 years ago with possessing 2 pounds 2 ounces up in Boulder and helping set the example that we as patients are the ones who choose how much to use.
We are the patients choose. Damn it, not you.
No, really. It says it right in the Constitutional Amendment of Colorado. But
you're living proof.
I think we're all living proof at this point. And I have to say thank you for what you're doing, Tim. This is huge.
Appreciate it a lot. Appreciate it a lot. We don't do. I did.
We all do our part.
Do it, right?
You do your part, Tim.
We do our thing.
So I just real quick, just since you bring up Cannabis Health News, I just wanted to say thank you all for your support out there. It's been an interesting ride so far. As you all know, we are very, very small. It's just me, and I've got Natalie Gonzalez now helping out with ad sales and a whole bunch of other stuff. We've got a couple volunteers now coming on board.
It's just the two of us.
It is just the two of us.
You and I.
And so at this point, we're here to support you guys. We're not just a magazine. We are also for advocacy, and we've got a bill. I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah, we want to talk about that bill. A little bit something about hemp.
A little bit about hemp. But let's find out about what these guys from CPM are doing here today. I want to hear about some interesting, fascinating grow stories.
Well, I was going to kick it to you first, but we can roll with the punches. We can see what we can do here on the show. We got plenty of time, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I don't even know.
We could
you guys
fill
don't
that time.
Well, we're old friends. CPM is old friends with Jason Lauve. We've known him since way back during his acquittal, and long-time friends and big fans of what he has been doing. I definitely would like to give him the opportunity to speak as much as possible. We come in here, every week. But Jason, you definitely. I want to hear what you have to say myself.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Patrick.
Once again, Compassionate Pain Management, our good buddies Patrick and Roper in here with us. You can make sure that you check out Compassionate Pain Management, 2 locations. One in Louisville.
Louisville. Come on, we're not in Kentucky here.
I say Louisville.
Thank you.
Louisville. All right, fine. Louisville, if you want to get all technical and
all Colorado on you.
Want to find it. Make sure you check out Louisville. That phone number, 303-665-5596, 303-665-5596. Or they got a shop in Lakewood, 303-232-3620. That shop in Lakewood is at 1585 Quail Street, number 13B. And in Louisville, that shop address 1116-7 West Dillon Road, 1116-7 West Dillon Road, southwest corner of West Dillon and McCaslin. They'll take care of you, a holistic healing center. Not only just the good greens. You got acupuncture, Reiki practices, pain management care plans, all kinds of craziness, right?
All of it, all the alternative
They're good
medicines.
people. They really listen to you. They'll sit down and try and figure out what the right medicine is for you.
I give a damn.
Yeah, you do.
No, they give a damn. I was just speaking with them in their voice of how they would say it if they were sounding like.
No, it is. It's all like we were saying. I told you before. It's between, at the warehouse, it's all about the plants, and at the dispensary, it's all about the patients. They come first, and really working with them.
So you're not thinking about the patients as you're doing the plants, man? Is that what? No, I'm just kidding. I'm in a really feisty mood today.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
You're a little punchy.
With the strains that we decide crack.
No, I'm sure that every
come get
single
some UBC chemo.
Yeah. That's exactly what you're thinking about, because you're trying to grow the good, proper plants and do it right and do it the best that you can. So obviously you want to be getting the best product out to the patients. just being a smart ass. That's all I'm
But
doing.
no,
What do you guys have in the way of CBD products now?
That latest one that we just brought online, the UBC chemo, that one's got, we haven't got the lab numbers back on it yet, but the preliminary tests from the patients and everything is just, we can't keep
like it.
We can't keep it on the shelf. It's amazing.
It's called UBC Chemo?
Correct. This was developed.
Federation seeds.
Yeah, developed for the University of British Columbia, the chemotherapy patient project that they did.
Oh, cool. Okay, yep. Very familiar with that.
Yeah. So that's that strain is doing it, and
Federation seeds. I'm not sure if you can get it anymore.
I don't think you can. I think it's like a clone only type thing now. If you're in Canada, you might be able to find it. But but we have been lately. We've had a lot of success with TH seeds, a lot of their products, and we've got some heavy duty fruity that we're about to pull down right now. That's just amazing.
The heavy duty fruity, I'm telling you right now. I was smoking some of that this weekend, man. That along, I finally got to smoke some Tange again, too.
Ooh,
that was
nice.
Beautiful. Not Tangerine Haze, but just Tange.
Just Tange, yeah, straight
Just
Tange.
Tange.
Colorado.
Oh, and it was wonderful.
What was that?
The heavy duty fruity is one of the. Really, before I got rid of my grow, it was one of the one strains that I really wanted to get into the grow room because it's such a fantastic strain. It's hardy. It grows really big, really fast. It's got pretty dense buds. It's really beautiful. I mean. So and another thing to mention also through all this, and we talk about seeds and stuff, and I'd like to get CPM, you guys in here, at least Sean in here on Wednesday, because he wanted to sit down and talk with, or maybe you two guys can come in with Sean and we can sit down and talk with Scott and have Adam in or something like that, and you guys could pick.
We just
their
cracked some of
brains with
Scott's
stuff.
seeds.
Yeah, that's where you could sit down and pick their brains with the knowledge that you're trying to learn in having their, rare dankness seeds and also having the TH seeds. Sean messaged me this week and he gave me a message. He was like, no, you got to give me, because you guys had off to the starting gun. Yeah, off to the races already. So
No, yeah, we weren't.
We weren't going to wait around
We
to
weren't
get some of
waiting
it.
around.
he's like,
I
we ain't
took
waiting
it
around
right-
no more. We're
right
going
out
to
of
get
my-
this done right
This
now.
just won the Cannabis Cup. This is the home team, and we don't have this. Come on.
Yeah,
So
for
we
real.
went and got it.
Yeah, you guys were messing around. So, yeah, I contacted him and we let him know that you guys wanted to know information about it. And we'll hopefully be able to hook up you guys for that
Yes,
information
that'd be fun.
and stuff. So,
That'd
but
be-
that heavy duty fruity is really an extraordinary plant, extraordinary smoke. I love how creamy it just smells.
Well, we've had a
taken a
lot of
while.
luck with everything from TH seeds. I really haven't had anything that I've been disappointed with.
We have a great Burmese Kush.
A buku? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Buku, the famed Buku.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that one's been.
That is one of the original Kushes. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
People call Kush.
No.
There's pretty much four original Kushes, and that is one of them.
Yep.
It's pretty cool, man. The Afghani and then Master Kush. I think Master Kush
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
I have
MK.
Master Kush from Nirvana seeds.
From some MK.
Yeah.
MK?
Yeah. Master Kush.
Yes.
So
MK Ultra is something else you also might
Got
want to
that.
consider.
Got
you,
it.
you got it?
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah.
Have you? And I don't know if I finished my train of thought with all that, but what I was going to say here before about with the seeds and stuff and getting everything together, but it's really important that you understand, like everybody wants cuts. And that'd be beautiful to have cuts and have, the exact something that somebody else does you don't have to do a lot of work on.
yeah.
We're all sort of lazy in our own way. You guys, I'm not saying CPM is at all. I'm just saying I am, I guess.
I've got a few strains in the house that came from cuts, but most of them have been cracked from
Yeah.
seeds. So I have a
Well,
a genetic trace.
When
at
I really
least of
say
some
we,
sort.
sometimes I really mean me. So I mean, it's just
Well, no,
we're
there's
all the issue with it.
right?
But
There's a
that's
lot.
okay.
It takes. I mean,
Hey, at
literally,
home.
you can, depending on how you're doing it. We've learned a few methods, kind of can shorten things up a little bit, but for the most part, you're talking 6 months that it'll take you from seed
9.
to figure out if a strain is something that you're going to want to use,
and you got
then
to
you
pop
have
like
to.
boxes and boxes and boxes sometimes
Yeah.
to get where you want.
And then you've got
that right.
once we're saying, you got to send this stuff all the way through flower and stuff, and it's just when you're starting with unsexed natural seeds and it can takes getting cuttings can obviously cut immediately 6 months to a year's time off of getting those genetics online.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like this. We've got strains that we're cracking right now that they're not going to see in the stores, we know, until probably September, October. It's going to take
and
a
it
while.
will be a trickle at that point. It
You
won't
know,
be a
it-
full blown.
Yeah. it's just
That's
like
just what you got to do. You got to pick through the phenos. You got to get. I remember when I was going through the A Train.
Yeah, man.
That's a THC strain, A Train.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic strain, but it does have 3 or 4 different phenos to it, and really, there's a couple that aren't very the best phenos in the world, and Adam will admit this too. But I got this one time, man. It's just lucky seed. It was a pheno that Adam hadn't even seen before. It smelled like red wine, dude. It was just like this beautiful red wine vinaigrette type of smell to it.
a bouquet.
And, it was like one of the most unique smells of a strain that I've ever had the chance to not only have in front of me, but to be able to grow. I mean, it's my favorite smell of any plant by far was that pheno, and I mean, it's gone.
Oh.
But you do with the garden.
Dun, dun, dun,
We
dun.
tried to get it to Adam. You blame Adam and Derek on that one. That ain't my fault.
Sometimes
I guess it's my
always-
fault because I can't clone the most insanely well, but these guys are going to laugh at me.
Well, hey, sometimes it's good to have a good friend to back a genetic here and there up with,
Always should have the genetics backed up. And believe me that I got the Tange backed up with not only just D-Money and his crew, but now he's listening. It's like, I thought you killed that off. I'd be like, no, long ago, there was a certain person that has it, and like, he's not going to want to know.
See, that's
exactly
the other
who
thing
has
is the great thing about with the seeds that we do is we've got backups on a lot of these strains that that are in seed. That if something were to happen and we were to lose, it's like, well, we could start from ground zero, but we have the seeds, to get that rolling again.
Shoot myself in the foot
but
for that damn Mazar.
It's
I
funny
lost.
with Jason. I want to hear more about
Really?
this bill and stuff
Lost
because
the Mazar, yeah.
I'm really interested in finding out other seeds as well. It's not this, I want to hear about the hemp and find out what
The true source of CBDs.
You lost,
understand, right?
So wait,
Yeah.
hold on though. You had a Mazara Sharif.
Mazar.
yeah.
Yeah, Mazara Sharif. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an Afghani strain.
Yeah.
One of the true Afghani strains.
Yes.
Very, very, very awesome to breed with. I think in my opinion, not one of the, from what I've seen the samples of it, not one of my favorite strains that's out there, or one of the most top quality strains that you could deal with. But also, it probably is. I mean, it's just probably in the situations I've seen it in. But when I've heard of it being cloned, or the strength of it being cloned, is just fantastic. A lot of those Afghanis.
It was dirty, yeah,
Yeah,
for
a lot,
sure.
because they've been around for so long. They're some of the base of everything out there. So
Yeah, I didn't cross it with anything. But yeah, it was pretty solid.
you just dug it. You just
yeah,
loved it.
Yeah, it was strong. It was
Awesome.
it was a strong, and it grew well. It was hardy.
Awesome. You always got to love strong and hardy strains, man.
Yeah.
Something that repels the pests possibly really well. Something that just grows, in the amount of
It
time
doesn't
that you
care
want.
what you do.
It
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. It's good
Yeah,
times.
there's some stuff that we just absolutely love, and he loves cutting, making clones of that because you just know we're not going to have an issue with it all through the cycle. It's a pretty healthy strain, but
Yeah.
we've got some other ones that, man, if you don't know what you're doing,
They're finicky.
Yeah.
Papaya is real finicky.
Do you guys do any, and this is from a layman's perspective, of course, but do you guys do any grafting of strains? Is that something that you
It's
find
funny you say that. I've been
viable?
talking Jimmy, who was on the show last week that we brought in. He and I were talking this past week about starting to do some genetics grafting, doing some stuff with this. He's got a lot of. He comes from orchards and all the fruit bearing trees.
What do you
and
mean by
stuff.
genetic grafting?
What you do is you're basically taking a cutting off of one plant and attaching it to another plant.
Yeah.
It's essentially how apples are created.
Trying to be
Really.
all Frankenstein.
All of your all the fruit that you're going to find in the United States is all grafted plants. They're all.
I guess my question there is, if you've grown a plant to full maturity and you've harvested that, what happens if you were to graft a brand new cutting onto the base stem and cut everything else off the top of that? If it were to take, would that now have a huge root system for this tiny little plant and treat it like a rocket
Technically,
ship?
yeah. If it's still going, from what I understand, what you see.
Yeah, they bond the tissues. If you have the same size, branch, actually you do it just a tiny bit larger on the mother plant that you're grafting onto, but you try to cut it in a wedge in a way to where you so where the tissues line back up, pretty much in the what are those?
And so you graft that plant together, and then it becomes a new what?
It becomes a new branch, part of the plant that you just put it onto. And then
so you're just having multiple strains on a plant.
Yeah, you can actually.
That's just farked up.
Well, what it's doing is it's.
You guys are messing with Mother Nature. This is not cool.
Understand, this is where all your
like
fruit.
the natural way to do it.
You haven't had an apple or an orange that wasn't grown this way
It's been
in your
done for a
life.
ton of times. Yeah, this is beautiful right here. I mean, this is advanced.
Beats GMO, right?
Advanced gardening. Yeah.
Yeah, this is so. What's going to happen there is that the base is just going to draw the nutrients up and feed it to the top of the plant. The plant is still going to be whatever you grafted onto it. That's what it is.
This is also for some of the hardest strains that you can clone out there. A method that is used also, and there's also some Chinese methods that have been used. If you just cannot get the strain to clone or whatever, I mean, yeah, it's just incredibly interesting. I get the chills. You guys bring up the stuff that I've read. You guys read stuff in books. It's so awesome. All right, let's get some commercials here, and then we can come back and talk about some hemp and other goodness. We've been talking about Rare Dankness for a second. Make sure you do not miss the Rare Dankness Seed Company. Make sure if you want the Rare Dankness seeds inside of your shop, you get a hold of them right now because they're gone. You know,
Quickly.
Chris
They're going
Berman,
very quickly out there.
You know Chris Berman, that back, gone. I always used to love that guy.
Imagine being able
You
to
don't know
speak
Chris
that
Berman?
fast.
Nobody knows Chris Berman in here? The
No,
baseball announcer guy in the ESPN?
No, I know who you're talking about.
All right.
I can't even come close to
I
speaking.
know
that
my
fast.
other homies do, though. You know else who should have stayed in sports casting and not gone to media? And I just brain farted his name because he's probably one of the best sports anchors that there is. What's the guy in MSNBC?
I haven't watched TV in
yeah,
12
you're
years.
All right, I'm going to
I don't
the
have a
chat room.
television
The
set.
chat room's going to know. Come
They're gonna
on.
know.
Chat room, let me know. It sounded like an idiot here. Hurry up. Let me know.
Costas?
No, what Costas?
I have no idea.
That's
Dude.
he did it again.
That was from the back of the room there.
Phil, you screaming out Costas?
They got
What's the news anchor guy that used to be on ESPN? That's now pisses off Bill O'Reilly all the time.
Oh, Dan Patrick?
Dan Patrick.
Or
No,
you talking about the other one, Oberman.
Keith Olbermann is who I'm talking about.
Keith.
Dan Patrick.
I didn't know he did sports.
You guys,
Yeah.
you didn't know Keith Olbermann did sports back in the day? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah, he used to be cool on ESPN.
I think my chat room failing me here.
Before you did
Ridiculous.
countdown.
No, I think he should have just stayed with where we were going.
The,
with that. I have no clue. We were with Rare Dankness Seeds, the best of the best, and who should have. Never mind. 970-812-DANK is who you can call to get your Rare Dankness seeds inside of your shop. They're going very, very quickly. Get seeds like the Face Wreck, the Rare Dankness OG1, the Trainwreck Haze, all sorts of other great stuff, including possibly if you can get a hold of it, the Moonshine Haze, brand new Cannabis Cup sativa strain winner from this year. Brought it home to Colorado. Make sure you holler at them. RareDankness.com 970-812-DANK. What was that? Do you have something to say?
I got to get one of those.
You gotta get one of them, man. Did you guys not pick up any seed packs?
We got Chemrec, Kraken, and what is the other one? Ghost Train Haze #1.
Ghost Train Haze #1 in Chemrec.
Yeah. They both shot up over the weekend.
That Ghost Train Haze #1. I'm telling you, when it's finished out, you're gonna be like, where have you been all my life? Make sure you check out JohnDoeRadio.com if you missed anything. It's good times here on the John Doe Radio Show on Monday. Have yourselves a fantastic week. We'll be right back talking with Jason Lauve about hemp and Cannabis Health News Magazine on the JDR.
Mad Hatter Smoke Shop has got your high-quality American-made unique pieces and some of the best scientific glass available anywhere. Artists and companies like Mike Fro, Cowboy, Zob, Royal, and D-Rock with some of the best products the Mile High State has to offer. Treehouse, Joel Halen, Worm, Tricky, and more. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop also carries Sheldon Black, one of the highest names in glass standards. Don't miss out on the Holy Water Style Collection either. Our friend John Waters offers his line of shirts, jackets, hats, and skateboards for men and women. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop for everything the JDR JDR Army needs. Mention JDR or John Doe Radio and get 20% off. 20%. Visit MadHatterSmokeShop.com or email store@MadHatterSmokeShop.com for inquiries. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop, 6091 West Colfax Avenue in Denver, 303-953-7015. Store at MadHatterSmokeShop.com, 6091 West Colfax Avenue, Denver, Colorado, 303-953-7015. Under Pink House Blooms, you will find some of Colorado's most respected and popular cannabis centers, including the Cherry Company at 111 Madison Street, the Pearl Company at 1445 Pearl Street, and the Teapot Lounge at 2008 Federal. You have heard the amazing products available from Nika T and his solventless wax and hashes from his appearances on John Doe Radio, and now you get to know about the amazing ISO hash made by our good bud Stephen Lewis. This ISO wax cannot be beat, and I challenge you to find a better product. But not only are the products great, but just as I need in my personal caregiver, the service is friendly and personable too. Pink House Blooms and its stores are proud to carry essential extracts, rare dankness, hemp hoodlum, and vector products. All stores are open from 10 to 7 every day, with daily specials like Tuesday, 2-for-1 joints, Warehouse Wednesdays, where they weigh all Pink House grown meds at 4-gram eighths all day long. Thursdays, buy one edible, get the other half off, and Sundays, let's just say they make it rain. And remember, industry employees get a discount at patient pricing. The Cherry Company on 111 Madison Street, 303-399-6337. The Pearl Company at 1445 South Pearl Street, 303-733-6337. And the Teapot Lounge at 2008 Federal, 303-656-9697. Pink House Blooms.
John Doe Radio.
You're listening to the John Doe Radio Show. I'm your host, John Doe. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Hanging out with the good people from Compassionate Pain Management, CPM. Make sure you check them out. Louisville and in Lakewood. Good people. You guys
Good
got
product, good people.
You guys got a web address over here? Up in here. Hold on, I got your mic and didn't get your mic. Sorry about that.
No, CompassionatePM.com.
CompassionatePM.com. CompassionatePM.com. And any new anything special in there that you guys would like to say? Go get this now.
Oh, geez. I know there was we just sent a shipment of a bunch of new stuff that we haven't even tried yet that went in to the...
No way.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So,
There's tons of stuff we don't get to try. That goes in.
That's bull. That is some bullshit.
Yeah, it's just... when
Here, hold on. I'm going to do some work for you. Paging Sean. You have to let the growers try the product.
Otherwise, it doesn't work, does it?
Well, the part of it is it's
maybe an edible you're talking about.
It's the MMCD in the way.
It's you have to understand that we also are everything is accounted for, and
that's why you come back around to the front end of the office, and then they say,
well, see, that's the thing. We can, as a patient, now that's the thing is we can, as a patient, go into the dispensary and then be able to get some stuff. As an employee and patient.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it's all got to be tracked. Understand everything. It isn't like we can take something out of the line, way up before it ever makes it through the system.
You just can't chop it off the branch and smoke it?
No, that's not.
That doesn't work in the first place anyway.
Actually, what we do is we do the. Oh shucks, it's.
I'm sorry, Patrick. I'm being such a pain in the ass today.
It's all good.
We get naked and we just run through.
Oh my God,
that's enough.
And pull
no, I'm cool with that because I'm cool.
All the stuff off her.
Scrape everything off the
that
body
may be
hair.
funky. If running
Pull the
through,
body hair out of it and smoke it.
I've talked about that before. When we first talked about, sorry, I mean M&M's here too. When we first talked about my allergies to cannabis on the John Doe Radio Show, that came up. That what if you were to happen to have to run naked through a marijuana field or something, and man, I break out out.
Oh yeah, I've gotten rashes trimming.
Yeah.
Trimming it up.
So we wear the robes of righteousness to protect us.
The robes of righteousness.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the robes of righteousness, and
correct.
inside the trim room is the God of...
That's
Grow-us-weedus.
Grow-us-weedus. The
Grow-us-weedus.
trimmers are, Trimiswetus is the bastard child of laziness that was born from. They'd wear the suits, the robes of righteousness, and run through the fields of marijuana and scrape and they smoke. Well, when they got lazy and they want to do it, they just started to sit around and trim the weed and smoke it, and that's where Trimiswetus was born.
Right.
This is awesome. I love it, dude. I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's beautiful. But the whole running through, I just don't.
Oh, God.
Maybe if you guys, no, you. We'll just leave it there. Running naked through fields of marijuana. That should be a name of an album to like some hippie, like.
Fields of Hemp.
You're reminding me of Twirling Hippies underwear boys from Kush Con.
Well, it sounds to me like no, Jason.
Hey,
the beauty of the world here.
If we can have underwear girls, then maybe she should be allowed to have underwear dudes.
Well,
I agree.
I'm
with
all
that.
fairness. With that.
I have a question, Jason. If this bill passes, would we be able to run through fields of hemp?
You're not going to want to run through these fields.
Here's the thing, too. We were cutting cornfields.
That's an interesting.
When I was
comment,
when I was younger, I used to run a combine at my dad's farm a couple times, and mostly during the day I would just have to run maintenance and stuff. I'd have a 4-wheeler and be like flying miles like in between these combines and these fields and stuff, bringing food or whatever needed to be, man.
Yep.
And one day I wore shorts through a cut wheat field, and my legs were so bloody and cut up, it was insane.
It's like a caning.
Yeah.
Dude, it is.
It is.
It was the stupidest
Do you
thing.
still have scars?
I have a few. I do. I have a few on my legs still. And I ended up like doing like the whole like can like X Games front of your, put your heels up on top of the, it was crazy. And anyway, we have Jason Lauve in here with us from Cannabis Health News Magazine.
You remind me of Escher coming back after a hunt. She runs through the cornfield. She'll come back all happy, and she'll have these big scrapes and scars on her chest.
Oh, man.
I've learned. I put a chest plate on her now.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just get so into that endorphin rush, we just head full speed ahead.
or you just don't know what the hell you're doing.
Right.
Like me.
So a lot of snowboarders out. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Skiers too.
Ouch. Jeez. I try and help out the
That was bad.
skiers
Sorry,
as
that
much
was
as
bad.
possible. I don't try and send them up with a...
I think that came from my accident from years ago. It just kind of resurfaced for a second.
Yeah.
I have nothing against any snowboarder or skier. We're all the same. We
try
all
not-
love the snow.
We try not to snow wash you too much to give you the
I used to
waterfall.
call you guys butterboarders. It's like a butter knife. You come in and spread the snow out.
It's beautiful. I love it, dude. I love snowboarding. It's the funnest thing to do in Colorado, pretty much.
It is. It is.
really
There's a
think it
lot
is.
of fun things to do out here.
There is.
And it's amazing. I think we're about to open up the state with this treating marijuana like alcohol bill, petition, and then going to the election. It looks like we might turn this state into a legally accessible state, which would be
That would be
interesting.
awesome. Yep.
What I think is cool about that is we already see the trend with crime, with alcohol, with all these other issues with the medical cannabis industry, and they're all going down.
Alcohol use down 5%
yes,
in
yeah.
Colorado
Yeah,
since medical marijuana went into play. By the way, Cannabis Health News Magazine. Tell them where they can check it out.
So Cannabis Health News Magazine is available online. You can go to cannabishealthnewsmagazine.com. You can do a search for Cannabis and Jason. It probably will show up on the first page of a Google search. You could also find it in most of the dispensaries. It's not completely consistent right now. Again, I'm just a sort of a one-man band, actually two now, with Natalie helping out and jumping on board. We are looking for volunteers. There are all these other publications out there. They're fantastic. I support a lot of them. We are very different. We are a patient magazine strictly for the educational purpose of cannabis.
Nice.
Surrounding the scientific research and so on and so forth. We also do, in the back of the issue, every time we get it out there, there's a little tidbit on hemp or what else cannabis can be beneficial for. It could be nutrition or something else in that respect. But the really cool thing right now, aside from the advocacy work I've been doing with Bob Krause, a patient down in Colorado Springs who's been charged unnecessarily.
His story was told on, at the time, I think it was Mile High Normal Show. It's now called iCannabis Radio, which you can hear tonight at 7 o'clock.
So
Mountain
definitely
Time.
keep your eye out for Bob Krause's story. It's pretty fascinating.
He is being prosecuted as a cancer patient.
He's got leukemia. Yep.
Dying cancer patient being prosecuted, and it's unfair.
It's totally unfair. DA Dan May down in Colorado Springs is a heavy-handed gentleman, and it doesn't seem to understand the reality behind medical cannabis. The person like Bob Krause really needs high dosages, And this actually comes from the 2003 Health and Human Services patent. It actually states right in there that people who have cancer or non-cancerous tumors, including Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, Huntington's, the list goes on. Go read it. It's interesting.
Shoot, there's just recent studies started talking about how
But what's
concentrated
cool about
forms,
this,
the
though,
higher concentrated forms used in
Exactly.
excessive force.
Tim, so the big thing about this is that it actually states in that document the 20 milligram per kilo of body weight. So in other words, I should be using about a gram 0.2 or something like that for my nerve
day?
regeneration, for example. Yes, per day.
I can smoke an oil a day. I can smoke a gram of oil a day easily.
We are still learning about this stuff, folks. Who knows what the high dosages will do for a lot of you. And don't just do this on your own. Obviously, get some
I'm not kidding.
some coaching.
I'm not kidding. A gram
This
a
will put
day.
you flat on the floor if you're not careful.
A gram a day of oil on the health stone.
But it won't kill you.
No, it won't kill you.
No,
It
what was
is-
it again? Per
is-
kilo
I love it,
of
dude.
weight?
20 milligrams per kilo of body weight.
Okay.
Yep. And that's of quote-unquote Rick Simpson oil.
Yeah, Rick Simpson,
or
the
Phoenix
Tears level.
Yeah. And do go check out Rick's website and
But
see
do
what he
you-
has to say about
PhoenixTearsFoundation.org.
see what he has to say about the relationships.
I'd
with
say not to
using
use
Phoenix Tears.
naphtha. I mean, I haven't looked up. I haven't looked up on his process recently or whatever. But I mean, I don't believe necessarily in Rick Simpson's process 100% because of the products that he does use in the end. There's different products that
You can use
that are a little bit safer.
Everclear.
Here's something. Yeah, this
Naphtha,
is actually
you
a
can't
big
get rid
topic.
of everything from it. You can't get rid of the metals and the harshness of you can't filter it all
There's
out.
a book I would highly recommend, and I know I'm going to bastardize the title on this, but it's basically superfluid extractions for the nutraceutical industry, and I know that's not the complete title.
That sounds like a different kind of book.
It is amazing because it gets into exactly what we're talking about and explains what stays or does not stay in these extractions, whether it's CO2, butane, naphtha, so on and so forth. The nutraceutical industry uses this stuff. The food industry uses these extractions. So it's not like we're doing anything brand new here. There's a lot of information out there. I do want to quickly jump over to the hemp bill. I've been talking about this thing, calling it bill. Sounds like we're talking about some other person here.
Yeah. We've been meaning to get to this.
So the bill actually is a Colorado state bill, which Representative Wes McKinley and Representative Sonnenberg are sponsoring. And
you know where those guys are from?
let's see, Wes McKinley is district, I want to say 46, and he lives down in Walsh, Colorado, so he's southeast. And Sonnenberg, I should know better. I just looked at his district the other day. I want to say 64, but that might not be it. So McKinley is a Democrat and Sonnenberg is a Republican. We also have a whole bunch of other people on our list that are supporters. We haven't gotten the official word from them, but we feel very, very promising about this whole thing. What is it? We keep saying this whole thing, this bill, whatever. It's not a blanket industrialization use bill for hemp. Basically, what this is a very specific use, a small little window to use hemp as a phytoremediator. In other words, a plant that sucks bad things out of the soil. So heavy metals, such as you might find in tailings. Yeah, Fukushima has plenty of heavy metals, right? They've got strontium and polonium, plutonium, cesium-137. We can go down that list. But the other use for this phytoremediation is in fields for farmers that have gone fallow, that are not
no nutrients
useful anymore.
Nothing.
They have no valuable anything in there. They're basically just dirt, no NPK, if you will, aside from all the other
plant a hemp field there for 5-10 years.
So that's the
soil
key. Is
restoration.
really we want to restore soil, make it more pristine. Is the wording we have in the bill. Now there are a couple other pieces in here we have to worry about. So this is something that you don't want to go out and run through the field like we talked about earlier. This plant is going to be planted in soil that is contaminated, and so you don't want to smoke this, folks. Aside from it being hemp, you can't really smoke this in the first place.
Yeah.
So this is a test project. This is a scientific experiment. We're going to prove that the hemp plant does phytoremediate soil and fixates carbon as fast as any other plant on the planet does. It actually is the fastest carbon fixator on the planet.
Yeah.
So part of this project is growing a test plot. We are asking for 500 acres total for each of the 1 to 3 areas that we pick out. And the test plots have to be in clean soil, so we need a baseline. So a lot of this project is going to be establishing.
I got some clean soil.
What does a clean soil plot look like to the scientists, if you will? I know it'd be great to grow this in our backyard.
I know. Tange can go fertilize it, and that's just wrong. Sorry, apologize.
You know, maybe we should require everyone to grow 14 plants and turn it into toilet paper. Make your own toilet paper or something like that.
So many different things and stories I heard of when the medical industry first started really booming here, and people would try and collect, the stalks and the stems and all that stuff from people in order to try and do it. But
so it's a bigger conversation.
Massive amount. That is a huge undertaking, man. Like,
it's a different plant. Yes, you can,
need a lot
turn that stuff into
material,
fiber.
dude.
You can turn that into fiber. The issue is that the plant is a completely different beast. Okay, so if you're growing hemp for fiber, if it's fine fiber, you're going to grow it one way. If it's a coarse fiber, you're going to grow it another way. If you're growing it for food stock, for seed, you're going to grow it another way.
Essential oils, or for
obviously, we as in the cannabis industry, we grow it differently.
Exactly,
and so
and it's the botany of desire.
Yes, or a secret life of plants if you want to go even deeper.
Yeah, correct.
So
the book Botany and Desire is a fantastic book rather than actual show.
Esther, drop it. We've got a rogue dog going after the food in the garbage can here. Come here, girl.
Tasty.
So a lot of people don't realize, for example, if you want ideal fiber from a hemp plant, you want really skinny, tall plants. And if you take a cross-section of that plant, it actually has a very large hollow core in the middle of it, and not as many fibers as you would think. If you take a cross-section of your medical plants, you'll see something very different. You're going to see a smaller hole in the middle, and a lot more fiber, right? A lot more fiber around the core itself. That's because it needs to carry a lot more nutrients through the plant than an industrial hemp plant does. And so it's kind of interesting to see the DEA's excuse saying, oh, we can't tell the difference between this fat, bushy plant and these tall, skinny ones. That said, coming back to the project, what we're going to be doing is picking these sites. And after we have a baseline of uncontaminated hemp, we can then figure out how fast or how rapid the uptake is of heavy metals into the hemp plants that we plant or that we harvest off of contaminated soil areas. So this could be used, like was brought up with Fukushima. Actually, historically, about 25 years ago, this was planted in Chernobyl.
Yes.
And Chernobyl has been doing this for the last 20 years. The downside to Chernobyl, and we reached out to somebody a couple weeks ago from Kiev, unfortunately because of all the political turmoil and changes and so on and so forth in that area, let alone around the world, hopefully here someday, that the records are gone. We have no idea where that stuff is. They probably just closed the door and threw away the key and forgot where it was. So we're going to be starting from scratch with this project.
Wow. Well,
do you till back in the hemp to the soil, or do you take it away?
Great question. It really depends on what we're going to be using it for. So if it's contaminated soil where we're talking about things like cesium-137,
site cleanup.
Hopefully we don't find that around here. I have a feeling we will. But
well, if you go to Rocky Flats, I'm sure you're going to find it.
Right. We do have
the whole alphabet.
Rocky Mountain Arsenal as well, and Rocky Flats. Rocky Flats is an interesting story. There's signs of strontium in the soil, which means that there was a criticality accident over there.
Yeah.
Why do I know so much? I actually worked on the closure project of Rocky Flats before I got into the cannabis industry. Wow. I have a dark and mysterious past, if you will.
It was creepy.
So, right.
It was.
It's very creepy. It's actually still creepy. The reason I actually really got into this was I found out that the government wants to allow children to go walk on that site. They want to have class trips out there and call it wilderness trips on Rocky Flats.
Yeah, it's supposed to be open space, isn't it? Like
I went out and took a trip to Rocky Flats.
You know what's up
when I was
in the air around there, don't you? That's airborne plutonium, folks. Yeah. Airborne contaminants.
They didn't concrete over the whole thing.
They put a few inches of soil, a little bit more than that, on top of, they capped it, basically. And the issue is that we forget, or at least maybe the government forgets, I didn't forget this, animals and weather and insects move that soil every year. So 11 to 17% of that soil is going to be moved every year, which means we're going to get re-exposed to high levels of contaminants. So that's another sort of side issue. I don't want to get too deep into that. But yeah, hemp has been shown, as in Chernobyl, that it can absorb this stuff.
Nice.
So you're going to see this coming up in session. Please do what you can to support this, but keep in mind this is a very narrow focus. There's a very specific intent in keeping it narrow. We don't want to go to this gigantic, hey, why are we not doing all industrial hemp? Keep in mind, we still have this vote coming up.
Let me ask that question. Why don't we want to go completely for all industrial hemp?
I do. Don't get me wrong. I personally, yes, I do want to go for it.
But baby steps?
Completely. Yeah, you just nailed it right there.
All right.
You know where that comes from, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So Matt Cook is a wonderful man. I really like the guy. A lot of people might not like him.
I think he's fantastic.
He's taught this industry a lot. He's taught me a lot. And if we listen carefully, he's telling us some stuff there.
He is.
So part of this bill comes from what I've learned from him and watching him work. So I encourage all of you, if you haven't had a chance to talk with him, do an interview with him. Listen to what he has to say. Keep in mind, he's now working for himself, making $3.25 an hour consulting, something like that. And that's not $3.25, folks.
No.
So there are some other ideas in there. I have an idea for a bill that I'm also putting on paper now. I don't know if I'll get it in this session. I don't think so. But definitely get in contact with me through Cannabis Health News Magazine.com in relation to the hemp bill. There's something that's going to be announced on Wednesday, another project we've been working on from the patient perspective. Keep in mind, I am an advocate for all of you out there. If you are a patient and are being charged and you haven't told anybody, tell somebody. Contact all of us. Let us know what's happening. We're here for you. The more of us that know about what's going on, the more we can protect each other and move this industry or this movement forward. So
yeah, I agree.
Thanks,
man.
Tim.
No, it's definitely. I mean, what else do you include inside your magazine? I mean, what is it just news and events of local here?
It's news and events, but it's actually more focused on a bigger picture of health. So yes, cannabis is a big component of this, but so is mental health. So is our nutrition. So is our physical health and exercise, our community health and relationships. So in the last issue, for example, there was an article on addiction. A lot of people say, oh, why, cannabis isn't addictive. Well, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And that's why I put this article in there. I believe that addiction is something other than what our community says it is. Our community says you're addicted to that and that and that. Well, I'm sorry, but there are shopaholics, there are alcoholics, there are drug addicts, there are so on and so forth. If we keep blaming individuals for their problems, we're not going to get anywhere. If we come together and say, hey, you know what? The addiction is blaming other people. Maybe I should come around and say, I'm going to help my neighbor. I'm going to become part of my community. And we're going to work together to make this whole place a better place instead of demeaning each other. I keep thinking about Dr. Martin Luther King and what he was trying to teach us, right? It wasn't just about the color of our skin. It was about what the money in our pocket. It was about the jobs we had, the education we had. All those things don't matter when we sit down in a room together and we share our stories. There's something fascinating about this cannabis industry, which I see, and that is we're afraid. In the beginning, we were afraid to tell our stories. I didn't want to come out. I was forced out by being raided.
Oh, geez, I remember the nervousness of just telling my parents what I was doing.
Now I want to run around and tell everybody on the street, hey, I smoke cannabis. I use cannabis because it does this, this, and this for me. But not only that, you might benefit from it. Well, this is something we have been blessed with, and I don't want to get all...
There's a big stigma that we're trying to remove.
It's huge.
It's going to take years to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's huge, and yeah, it's going to take years to do. But again, if we keep pointing at the evidence that our own government has put in front of us, it should happen overnight.
It should
if
happen.
I found out, if I didn't know what cannabis,
20 million.
Well, it's 72 years ago, but yeah, if I didn't know what cannabis was, and someone came to me, and said, "Hey, this thing is going to get rid of your cancer." This thing is going to regenerate your nerves. This thing is going to get rid of your Parkinson's disease. I'd be all over that. What's going on?
Really?
What's going on?
Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. No, so you're like, hey, man, this could help you with your nerves. Really?
Isn't that crazy?
It's not addictive.
Well,
really?
It's
really,
like,
man.
me,
It can help you with your Parkinson's.
For Merck.
Really?
When you're looking at
dude, they're
Chinese
showing that
herbal medicine,
they can help treat
this
tumors.
is one of the base.
Really? Like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah. Or it can stop a bullet. I like that one. you guys know about the
Oh yeah, we had
Kevlar
that.
vest.
We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Hemp Hoodlum up in his biatch.
That's
There you
right.
go.
The Kevlar.
But how about that?
type-
Have you seen that
Kevlar?
completely bodied
Yes.
hemp car now? Which that's
there's
what a lot
hemp
of people
cars.
don't understand. That
Hemp cars
actually,
are crazy.
Ford actually was growing fields of hemp to make the body
Pretty
panels
much the
for
first
his
car
Model
was
Ts.
made out of hemp.
So you're bringing up. Here's the big.
You talked
picture
about
here.
that bulletproof vest though from our good buddies Hemp Hoodlum, THCs.com. Make sure you check them out. Colorado 629 Santa Fe. First Friday, come and hang out with us.
Oh no.
That's
Come on down.
that Asher is totally Asher going crazy.
Yes, you are.
It's a puppy dog.
She's like, "What are you guys talking into? It looks like a biscuit."
She's like, dude, the coat is even better as a bulletproof vest made out of hemp because it's so loose. Because it's loose, it catches the bullet better. So you're like, pop, and then because it's not right up
Absorbs
against your
a lot
chest.
more of the energy.
It don't hurt, and it doesn't hurt less.
I'm
I'm not going to try that. I don't want to try that.
Don't ever want
There's
to.
some people that has already tested.
I've been in
I need
bad
one.
positions like that in the past, and I don't want to go there again.
Tested.
I want one.
Fuck you, Dolphin Well.
So you guys are starting to touch on all these little details, which are key to the bigger picture of that health issue. So bulletproof vest, that's a health issue, right? Save someone's life. It can save our soldiers overseas. A hemp car.
Yeah.
How can that help us? Well, it reduces fuel consumption because it's lighter, right? It can
Well,
save the
to me, it's the
occupants
carbon. What
inside.
you're doing is you're taking a product, just like you said, that is taking carbon out of the atmosphere.
Well, you got a good
and,
one there.
And then taking that product and now turning it into an actual body panel, a part on a car that, number one, is removing carbon from the atmosphere, and two, is a fully recyclable product.
So we keep talking about carbon, and this is fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's
can
this
save the world.
political movement that has come around, and they've brought up this concept of carbon credits, right? They want to
Jesus.
buy and sell these things at a corporate level, which really is just taking advantage of us. So honestly, what
is all it is.
what we're all talking about here is this carbon sink that we can mitigate. The quote unquote, if it's a real one or not, I don't care. It
Well,
doesn't
that's what
matter.
you can do with your testing that you can see absolutely.
Let's
that-
grow hemp and fixate carbon and reduce carbon emissions across the board.
Wow.
I mean, isn't that
That's
profound?
huge. It could
That's
be
huge.
profound, and not only that, but it's preventing another dust bowl. This is a fantastic soil strengthening plant
That's what
that
stabilizes it.
stabilize it like you wouldn't believe. It can
Let's take that a step further. What happens if you have a dry, dusty area and you plant hemp in there for a little bit, maybe a couple seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you're going to recreate that microclimate because of the moisture.
Correct.
So you're going to
Absolutely.
increase the moisture content of the soil. So you're actually going to start to create a brand new biodome, if you will, right, in that area.
Viva los Biodome!
Wasn't there something about greening the deserts that came up somewhere? Somebody brought that up years ago, right? Tim is right on
Purple
point
Sticky
here.
Punch.
So, by the way, if you ever see, and this is something, that we're trying to reach for down the road, but if you ever see a hemp plant growing in a field, I really would recommend that you stay away from it. You don't know what's in that field. What if that is a contaminated field and that hemp plant has cesium in it, which bioaccumulates? So in other words, if you pick a plant that has bioaccumulated cesium in it and let's just say you eat it, because there's nothing to be smoke on it. But if you eat that plant, you are now
somebody would be trying to smoke
bioaccumulating
it.
that cesium-137 to your own system.
Yep.
They'd be
So
trying
you
to
are now
smoke it.
really that's really suicide in my mind. So
Absolutely.
please be aware of what you're using as medicine. That's why we have dispensaries. We know the quality is there. We know the safety is there. We know that it's handled by professionals, and it's not grown in a field and called ditchweed. Right?
No.
But on that note, we did bring this up earlier. A lot of hemp from industrial sources seems to have a lot of high CBDs, and so
Interesting.
That's a
Well, did you see
different
this thing I just last week with the DEA apparently coming out and saying, okay, cannabis is medicine, which is basically what they've done is open the doors up for the pharmaceutical companies to be able
Ooh, you
to
bring up a good one.
to make it to do actual natural extracts instead of synthetics into pill form.
You mind if
That's
I?
what the certificate is.
You mind if I jump?
Or
in
wait,
there?
wait, wait, hold
synthetic.
on. Actually,
Correct.
hold on.
So
Hold on.
synthetic-
I got something for you
The
here.
Marinol.
I got something
But-
for you right here.
So real quick though,
That I
doesn't our
found-
Constitution in Colorado say that number one, cannabis is a medicine already?
Yes.
Okay. Then number two, it says, how do I access cannabis? I need a recommendation from my doctor, right? Not
Correct.
a prescription. So my question for you on a state level, because we also have scheduling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the state level. We are now cannabis is now in Schedule 1. So isn't the constitutional amendment, Article 18, in conflict with the state scheduling? And then to take that further, if the state is requesting to go to Schedule 2, is that not also in conflict because it's then requiring me to have a
didn't they do that?
prescription?
I'm sorry. Didn't
okay.
there's been in a couple of states now that they have changed the state law and rescheduled it as a Schedule 2.
This is dangerous, folks.
I don't know
They've
if
done
it's
this on the
actually- I
state
think
level.
it's
That
happened,
has
like, maybe
happened
one.
somewhere.
No, there's only 3 requests right now where they have.
No. The states have.
They've requested, but it hasn't.
I don't think it's
No.
changed.
I'm not talking about the federally done it. You understand?
I don't think a
that the
state
I know
has
what you're
actually
hearing.
been
I
successful
know.
with
And
doing
not
it.
the federal law of scheduling it, but the state
level,
has
yeah.
on the state level they have rescheduled it as a Schedule 2. There is at least one state, and I'm thinking more of a couple, at least 2, that have done this.
Ours?
I don't think
there
Colorado.
is a
We've requested.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's
No,
been a
that's we've
request, but-
requested for the federal to do it, but actually our state law books. There's we.
We're going to need confirmation.
Well,
In June 2010, the Oregon
Go to the
Board of
chat.
Pharmacy reclassified marijuana Schedule 1 drug to Schedule 2. News reports noted that this reclassification order makes Oregon the first state in the nation to make marijuana anything less than a Schedule 1. Prop 19 would have made it.
So that just hands it
really,
over to
honestly,
the
the only
pharmaceutical industry.
I knew there was only one place that had done this, and I figured it was
Well,
Oregon.
see, what I heard with the DEA's take on this also was that they're not looking to change any state laws on the federal. If they were to make this for medical use,
You bring up a good point there.
that they don't want to interfere with the states. We're going to let the states regulate this and control how they want it handled in their state.
So Patrick, you bring up a very.
and it's also in
important point.
Iowa. This has happened too, because
So wait a
they
minute.
haven't been proved.
Consider-
Like,
We already have these existing laws in place. Why reinvent the wheel?
Considering the 1,000-foot rule issue that we're facing right now, the Colorado Controlled Substances Act from
92.
1992, thank you, states in there, and I can't remember exactly which paragraph. I know it's on page 41. It's the last paragraph. I think it's section.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Damn.
Basically, it states that this applies to places that are publicly accessible, and it also mentions dwellings. So my question is a center publicly accessible?
Yeah, you have
Okay.
to.
And are you a dwelling?
what are you
Which is the
specifically
resident.
talking about here?
The way that the
Colorado Controlled Substances Act. And so Patrick brought up that the federal government said that they would respect state law as long as we're following state law, correct?
yes, clear
Okay.
and unambiguous
But that doesn't mean
compliance
that they're
with
still
state
gonna.
law.
They could. You could be following. That doesn't mean anything.
That's my point, though. It seems like that they said that, but now they're coming back in and saying, oh, no, we're going to apply the federal definition of 1,000 foot
Exactly.
aside from what you guys have already talked about at the state level. So
Which is how they're going to do business. I mean, that's just how they're going to do business. They're going to do it their way and not our way. I mean, that's
honestly, I
obvious.
think this is one of those situations where, and Nick King brought this up himself, but this is where they're going to try to tear us down piece by piece.
Yeah.
If we let them through on this one, then the whole industry is going to go down. I honestly think this is our time to stand up, especially if we look at the evidence out there. The schools in Colorado say there's been no problems. The drinking issues have decreased.
it's
DWIs
definitely
have gone down.
It is our time to stand up and to definitely fight against this. But I don't think that's the one wave is going to be the end to everything. I think if they end up shutting down somehow all of the dispensaries here in Colorado, or figure out some weird way to just really decimate the system, I mean, it's going to revert back to the old way that it was before, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, there's no way that you're going to come in and shut down all these dispensaries and make the state of Colorado happy. The people that don't even smoke marijuana, that don't even like marijuana, are going to be like, they're going to see the after effects of all the bullshit that you shove out into the
You're just going to
street.
make it go back underground.
No money.
It's never going away.
No
And as soon as the
taxes
federal
coming in.
government realizes that,
They'll be
then
pissed.
You got electricians and construction workers, people out going, that's food on their table.
This is the last state the DEA wants to play around with. The only problem I have is I have a problem with Rob Corey stating the things that he has stated a few times, and whether or not it was him that put the quote in the the first day he made a quote last week was he stated John Walsh was bluffing, that these letters going out to the dispensaries in Colorado they weren't really going to enforce, that it was just just a letter. And John Walsh comes out later in the week himself directly directly addressing Rob Corey. This never happens.
Saying
Never
we're
happens.
absolutely serious. Yes, we are.
Saying, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to come through your front door, and we're going to take everything that you got if you don't follow the rules that we say. And then the next day, Rob Corey posts on Westward.com, or at least someone
I don't know if that
appearing
was
to
him.
be
I saw
Rob
that,
Corey
yeah.
appeared that, of course you're going to say a bluff is not a bluff. You
Here's
know,
the-
and,
here's the
and
big
it's-
thing, though.
that's the
We've all
problem
been-
is I don't want to egg them on. I
We've
don't
all
want to
been
jam the
defending
bear
ourselves.
inside the cage. I don't want to do anything like that because I tell you what, when they come here and they on us or they on us or do whatever the hell they want to do to us, the state of Colorado will turn around and punch them square in the fucking nose and knock them out of this
If
state.
we had a respectful attorney general, I mean,
I don't care about our
you know,
attorney. Fuck our attorney general. That
he's
guy's
supposed
an
to stand
asshat.
up for us. So here's my question, though. Honestly,
Got me all
up till
fired
now, we've all been defending ourselves. Shouldn't we now take a proactive stance instead of letting these people come to our door?
Sean would love to be here now.
Shouldn't we be standing up on the front line saying, no, you're not even going to come to our front door? I mean, honestly, as a patient in this industry, I'm furious.
Yeah.
I am absolutely furious that the industry is responding the way it is. I'm happy to see that, you know, MMBA and Act for Colorado is starting to talk about coming together, but we really need the patience at this point to step up again.
I agree.
Remember where all this came from?
I
It was
agree.
the patience. Again, the patients need to stand up.
And they need to go to
We
the state
need-
legislature
we
and tell the
need
state
to be
legislature
proactive.
to back us the fuck
And
up.
no more screaming on a street corner. We need to actually take our fight to the Capitol, to the council members around the state, to the townships with suit and tie. Be respectful. Don't yell at these folks.
Here's the
because
problem,
they're not gonna listen if we yell at them.
No.
But here's the problem too, though, is that we have this situation across America, throughout the dispensary states, throughout the open states, that it's not just that they have the dispensaries, and it's not just the federal government saying, okay, hey, we'll come in here and we'll let you do whatever you need to do as long as you follow state rule. They are gonna find some petty, stupid rule that the here's the deal, that dispensary may be following state rule. In California, look at I'm saying it like Arnold Schwarzenegger. In California, there are, isn't that crazy? I said it like Cali. I bet there's a bunch of people that say it
California.
like that now. In California. Anyway, there's dispensaries there that didn't deserve to get raided. Just smash and grab bullshiz. The same thing could happen here. Smash and grab whatever. That's not right. And I tell you what, the DA could come and do that time after time after time, day after day, and lie through their teeth and BS us. And the only person that we have on our side is people like Jared Polis, you know, and some of the other congressmen.
Gary Johnson, Jared Polis,
And then
Doug
back
Linkhart.
and then at our state level, Doug Linkhart and some of the other, which he's on this city council, Denver City Council, but some of the other senators and some of the other people that we have in our legislature, we've got to sit down with them as a business, as an industry. If say, I'm not going to use any of my sponsors, say if John Doe's dispensary gets raided, I'm going to go sit down, and I don't think that I did anything wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's a case in front of me. I have it. I'm going to go sit down with my legislature, and I'm going to say, look, you're going to come to my defense because you put this into place.
Right.
We're
That's-
doing the
that's
right
part of it.
thing.
Right. You
There's
understand-
nothing wrong.
Exactly.
And that's the deal.
Exactly.
Is
You
that
can subpoena every lawmaker who has their name on that.
we
piece
can't
of
allow
it.
the spin to happen. And I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, Patrick, but we just cannot allow the
is a
spin
big issue,
to
though.
keep happening. We cannot allow the DA to come in and say, look, you dispensaries are not following state law just because one little thing or not even one little thing. Do not let them in and do not let them take what is yours. And even if they do, if they come in and they take what is yours and leave out the front door with it, you go straight to your legislator and you say, look, what are you going to do to come back and protect me? Because we are the only state that has this type of regulation in the process, and it was meant to be put there
Tim,
to protect us.
You bring up a really big issue, though, and it's the
Huge.
it's the taking.
Yeah.
We have set up an industry and a culture in Colorado that's regulated by the state government. We are responsible people. We are contributing to the tax base. We are contributing to the ancillary industries, whether it's the electricians, carpenters, the food store, so on and so forth down the street. This is a vibrant and a very what do you call it?
Viable.
Thank you. Viable economy that we've created in Colorado. And honestly, I think
the news
that
the other night called it the only growing
the feds don't
system in
like that
the
we're
only
able to
growth
take care of ourselves.
in Colorado.
But the big part of this, if you really go back to the bigger picture, follow the money. Okay? they used to come to us and steal our stuff, and that became part of their fund,
Pockets, yeah.
right? It went
Yeah.
into their pockets. Well,
They're
they
still
no
gonna do
longer, they still can, but they haven't been doing that recently, right? So a lot of
they pilfered it all already, and they waiting for it to get built back up.
well, they also have figured out how to take money through all these high licensing fees for all the dispensaries. But I think the other big thing to point out is, when was the last time you heard about the Mexican drug cartel in Colorado? Right?
Other than they found in the fall massive grows out in the national forest.
Not necessarily with grows, but I have with other drugs.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, the
so
other drugs.
I guess what I'm getting back
Methamphetamine
to
is a big issue to
Yeah,
being trafficked
yeah,
from
that's
Colorado.
pretty
It's a
much it
huge,
there.
huge
That's-
spot.
It comes
That's
through
exactly
here, coming
what I'm
north,
trying to point
coming
out.
east, west, south. That stuff's constantly flowing through the state on the freeways.
I stayed
and
in
they're
jail
pulling
with three-
people over. They profile and pull these people over,
Right.
and they're getting a lot of stuff in this state.
I stayed
They
in
really
jail
are.
with three of the
Big
dudes that are
bucks.
from straight
really big
traffic.
but we
go
don't
down to
see them in
Mexico.
terms of the marijuana component. That's what I'm
I
getting
think
at.
what
Yeah.
you're
Go down to
trying say,
Mexico.
Jason, is there's too much money at stake for the state just to let it, go away or let the feds
Yeah.
come and,
Yep.
Well, there is.
annihilate, their revenue. The state's making too
Do you know
much revenue
how much
to
money
let it,
has been
to let it go.
transferred
There's-
out of the patient fund into the state general fund?
Well,
is
that
that every
first
year
year
on
was like
420?
$9 million or whatever
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was.
But what is it? It's like every year on 420 they transfer all these funds that
was
come
last
out of
year.
the patient fund into. They do it every year. It's been going on for years now.
I
So
think
these
2
are-
years now
these
that
are
they've done
things
it
that we can
directly
be-
because it's been over. We've had a lot of money in there.
Well,
You know,
it's
the chat
like
room's asking.
200
The
for the
chat
last-
room's asking. Who are they really going to listen? And it's up to the cannabis
It's who gonna really
dispensary
listen, the
owners,
feds,
the
you mean?
business owners. It's up to the industry leaders to be able to come in and sit down and force. And they are the legislators. That's who they are in Colorado. The DA is the DA.
So the fact
people that
here-
are going to protect us are the legislators.
The fact is that they're going to come in. The feds are going to come in with guns
You would hope.
drawn,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
They
We
have
know-
to. They're the only ones that can protect us, dude. If
So,
we don't have them,
Tim, you bring up a really
we're
important
screwed.
point. We as the cannabis movement, as patients, as center owners, need to encourage our politicians, our representatives, the senators, representatives, and the town council members, everybody at all political levels. We need to engage with them and make sure that they are the ones that stand between us and the feds when they come in.
I agree. That's
'Cause
something you
they're
should talk
coming.
about tonight with your meeting. Maybe mention that.
I'll bring that up at the board meeting for sure at Act for Colorado. I think that
There's got to be some sort of coalition formed here
again, this is,
ASAP to
we
be
need
able to
think,
defend this. What's
we
going
need to
come?
think proactively, offensively. So this is just like a football game. We've been defending ourselves and getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. We need to stop that pushback. We need to go on the offensive, to align ourselves, not in this haphazard way where so-and-so has their own message and another group has their own message or strategy. It's time to really align. I know everyone tried to come together at Castleman's last week. Honestly,
I heard that was pretty lame.
I had so much excitement and hope for that, but it just fizzled, I think. And
I heard it was lame. And I
Yeah.
was disappointed to miss it, and I was glad I didn't after I heard about it.
So again, this
The
comes
ego-
back to
the egoness-
patience, right?
The ego-ness and everything needs to be dropped. All right, everybody's got to
Yes.
drop their
Yes,
ego.
yes,
All right,
yes.
we all understand that.
And the wanting to be in the spotlight.
We all understand that you are trying. Hey, now, no, we all understand that you're trying to build your
Except
business.
for you, Tim.
We understand you're trying to build your business. We understand you're trying to build a business. We understand that you think that you had the first ever of this. Oh my God! 10 years ago, when these people were not even doing this, and I was doing this, and then all of a sudden everybody else started commenting. I don't give a anymore. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the people that matter are the people that are going to get their money taken, they're going to freedom taken. That's what matters, okay? Not your ego, not my ego, not Rob Corey's ego, not Warren Edson's ego, none of this. It's all of us together need to come together, sit down, talk with legislators. Now, outside, I'm not saying everybody has to drop their ego or whatever and do whatever you need.
No,
but
we
when it
just
comes
need to
down
focus
to,
on this one point right
but when
now.
it comes down to sitting down and meeting, all right, do your own thing and your own thing, your own straight corner, your own shop, whatever. But when it comes down to meeting in front of that Capitol, when it comes down to having these meetings wherever they are, forming these coalitions, it needs to, we have to stick together. We have to drop everything and stick together.
Absolutely.
Now, outside
I
that-
wouldn't say drop
outside that-
everything because I know a lot of center owners are really busy and have tunnel vision. No offense, with what you have to get done at your center.
Well, that's fine. Drop. No, I don't mean that. I mean
but
drop
send
the BS.
send an employee
BS.
or a representative of your center and come and join these forces.
And
Yeah,
if you don't
I-
think
I
there's
agree with
nothing you can
Troy.
do, that's bullshit. Like
There's a
there's
lot to
dispensary
do.
owners that I hear that are just they're
At least
throwing up
it's
their arms
another
right
body
now.
there, another voice, you know.
Yeah.
Stop throwing up your arms. All right, stop throwing up your arms and saying that there's nothing they can do. The industry has screwed us. Whatever.
If you're not sure what to
Sitting here
do,
hanging out
reach
with
out to us. We'll give you a whole list of things to do.
Sitting here hanging
you know?
out with Jason Lauve from Cannabis Health News Magazine, also Patrick and Roper from Compassionate Pain Management, CPM,
And Escher.
and Asher,
Asher.
Asher the dog. Tried to get in the trash can a minute ago. And I am John Doe. Howdy ho. So you guys got anything else to talk about?
Oh, there's so much going on. I don't know how much time you have left.
By
here.
the way, we got time. By the way, if you would like to win a free ticket to the Ganja Gala, make sure you head. Let me pull up this website again.
So this is a 20s themed party, and so my question has always been, if it's a 20s themed party, does that mean alcohol is illegal and cannabis is legal?
Dang.
Hold on here.
Precisely the point.
I know that's something I wondered too for a second. What website am I supposed to go
So
to?
just
Send
to
people
come
this?
back real quick to the scheduling issue, I just want to throw this out.
Hold on. Let me before you get to that, let me finish this promotion here.
Promo thing for the Ganja Gala. Oh,
I got a
the
couple-
Ganja Gala will be fun.
I got a couple promos I need to get to before we. So don't forget that thought. I think I'm gonna send these people to
already
mmapa.us. I do it all the time, dude. I'm sorry. It's wild. mmapa.us. Make sure you tell them. Wait. Okay, here's the deal. Free ticket to the Ganja Gala for the first person to go to www.mmapa.us and enter the code John Doe Radio. Free $50 general ticket. www.mmapa.us. All right, and also make sure you email me John Doe Radio Giveaway at gmail.com. John Doe Radio Giveaway at gmail.com, and we'll get you either a token top, another shirt company interested in doing some business with us and doing some giveaways and stuff, and also we're giving away the Silver Surfer vaporizers. Make sure you go to Silver
I love
Surfer.
One of those. They're great.
Yeah, I hooked one up to my Joel Halen last night.
I saw that post.
Yeah, I have my little water piece connector to the wand. I hooked it up to the Joel Halen. Oh, it's beautiful. I love my Joel Halen. If I'm feeling down at night, I'll just pick up my Joel Halen and look at it, and I'm like, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. It makes me feel better. So make sure you email us, John Doe Radio Giveaway at gmail.com. Put in the subject line what exactly it is that you are trying to win, and we will take care of you if you do win. Also, big thanks to all our other sponsors on the John Doe Radio Show, A Cut Above. You do not want to miss the awesomeness that A Cut Above has. 1911 South Broadway. On South Broadway, obviously, part of the Green Mile, Amsterdam, whatever the hell you want to call it. Basically, my old stompy ground when I moved back in here into Denver.
Green
Lived
Mile.
right.
You ever gone down 38th? That's a green mile too.
Yeah, that is. 38th and
38th from
38 there up
Sheridan
there
to
from
Federal or
I-25.
something.
going
Yeah,
west.
Federal.
like
Federal is
couple
like
of them
Federal.
now.
Federal's just dispensaries after dispensary of.
Oh, is it?
Almost-
I haven't driven down Federal
almost-
in a while.
They're all
Yeah.
probably most of them. Anyway, that's why you need to go to places like CPM or A Cut Above on 1911 South Broadway. They have some awesome strains there. In fact, they have, if you go to my Facebook page, Tim Martin, or you go to the John Doe Radio Show Facebook page, there is a special up there for brand new patients. If you are a brand new patient, they are giving away a free vaporizer with the purchase of something. They also got a couple others available for you. Some awesome specials. 1911 South Broadway. Also, Compassionate Pain Management. We already talked about them. Make sure you guys check them out. 2 locations, Louisville and in Lakewood. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop out on East Colfax, 6091. West Colfax. My bad. It's not
Great
East.
selection at Paul's place. at
East
Mad
Colfax would be the wrong direction to go.
No, you got to go out west. It's just past Sheridan, between Sheridan
Sheridan and Wadsworth.
and Wadsworth in there.
Yeah, right in between them. Go check out the awesome staff, the knowledgeable staff there. Mad Hatter Smoke Shop, Glass Tuesday, going to be with us tomorrow. Not sure exactly who we will have tomorrow. I've been trying to get Nate Myers himself back in the studio, but he seems like he's crazy busy. All right, Mad Hatter Smoke Shop, 6091 East Colfax Avenue. And Rare Dignus Seeds, Pink House Blooms, all those awesome dispensaries over at Pink House Blooms with the Teapot Lounge, the Cherry Company, and the Pearl Company. Stephen Lewis has the best ISO concentrate wax that is out there, period, end of story. You cannot beat it. It's the best concentrate ISO that's out there. Hope to get him in here sometime to talk about how he does it. I think all those stores have available ISO. If not, make sure you holler at them. They also carry the Nicotine products, Selected Nicotine, which we've had on the show before. Also, we're trying to get him here again. And also, big thanks to everybody else who makes the show possible. Adam Dunn and TH Seeds, Hemp Hoodlum, Dude Grows, dudegrows.com, GrowWise, 3225 South Wadsworth Boulevard in Denver. HandmadeApparel.biz. Thank you, Adam Hand. Little Man Hosting. John Doe Radio Show wouldn't be online without Little Man Hosting. LittleManHosting.com. Edson, Mayton, and Matt's, obviously. Run on Grass and Mile High Wellness. And obviously you, the listener of the John Doe Radio Show. We wouldn't even be here without you. Do we want to finish up any thoughts, trains of thought? Sorry, there I had to get through all those.
Oh, it was the trains of thought. The trains. There are many trains and lots of tracks. I just wanted to throw this back out there for those of you who keep saying that you believe that we should go from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2.
Bad idea.
It's a really bad idea, and here's just an example for you. Is aspirin listed on scheduling? Does anybody know?
Over the counter?
It's not listed. No. It's not listed. Did you know if you take 12 aspirin, you may die? So my point being
if
is
you
that
eat 12 raw potatoes, you could die.
Yeah,
I think that's the number.
You could take apples, seeds, and turn it into arsenic. Really, what I'm getting
4
at,
gallons of water.
This is up to our own choice. This is our own responsibility. This is our own respect of the community. Obviously, if I've got an apple in my hand, I'm going to use that for the wonderful sweet fruit it is. I'm not going to sit there and grind up arsenic seeds unless I'm insane. We always have the insane people in society. Unfortunately, the way politics works and the news works is we point out the insane people instead of all the normal people. So that one insane person kind of spoils the party, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You have no clue what I'm talking about with the whole
I don't.
This is on a Whale Wars episode of South Park. And then it's like the most offensive Chinese dudes running in, like trying to kill whales and all the people that were the Whale War people. Check out Whale Wars. Awesome
I'll
TV
have to
show.
watch that.
Yesterday I saw some news, too, from the Whale Wars
I
people.
did
They were
see,
throwing some...
That's the Sea Shepherd guy.
Yeah,
right?
the Sea Shepherd
I did
dudes.
watch some of those finally the other day. That is pretty sweet.
They're pretty awesome, man. I like them. If they would allow toking on the ship, we would do it.
You know, I was actually...
But they won't.
Why
Because
don't
it's
we,
international, like the rules and stuff they could get in trouble with. It just sucks.
Why don't we take some of their examples? I like those little slime ball packages and the
They got
stink
this
bombs
nasty,
that they have.
Yeah, dude, I'm down with it. Yesterday it was on
Nice
news that they
tactics
were
there.
like, the Japanese were complaining they were being harassed by them again. And I'm like, I see this like from the Japanese boat. They're like filming down onto this little black boat, just and these dudes just ninjas in there just launching shit at the Japanese. And that's where that one of the most offensive South Park I have ever seen. Probably because I held so close to Whale Wars and they kill
South Park. Wow,
they
that's
kill
rare.
off like oh dude, it's
I'll have to watch this.
I
This is
never
good.
thought I would be offended by South Park, but then like somebody like personally, or
So the Whale Wars
you're
one
part of
offended you?
something because of Hemp Hoodlum, and because Hemp Hoodlum, gives them their gear, and so close. CC's so close with them, and I'm I'm not a huge animal rights activist. I mean, I don't like PETA, people eating tasty animals, but I do love animals. You know, I'm not overboard or anything with it, but the whole Whale Wars thing, to me, is like a no-brainer. Like, nobody else in the entire world goes in whales. Somehow this whale ends up on the market, sold in markets in Japan. It's insane how they're allowed to get away with it. So all for the Sea Shepherd. I wish the Sea Shepherd would ram their ship and sink the bastards.
You just threw this weird thought in my mind. I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm like, wow, you're right. You know, it's an endangered species, if you will, or they're harming, the potential life down the road.
They're
But wait a
hunting
minute.
them in a preserve.
Here's let me throw this at you real quick. We just saw this whole crap happen. This shit happened with Fukushima, right?
Fukushima.
So as far as, we don't know anything about what actually is going on over there. But what if?
Not at all.
What if that whole island is now contaminated? Let's give these folks a break. If that's true, I want them to at least have some sort of form of survival. And I'm not going to go ahead and condone it right now, but let's just keep our minds open a little bit about where the world is right now. I hate to say it, but if they can't grow food on that island or they can't live on that island, let's give them, maybe a whale or two.
Give them South Dakota.
I think, isn't South Dakota already taken?
I think it's taken already.
Oh.
I think, yeah.
Isn't that hasn't that already been given to a lot of our Native American people in this world? I know it's the crappiest place in
It's
this
actually,
continent. But
I don't know. I find it's beautiful. You know, if you've been through the Black Hills and you've seen,
sure.
the
you know,
Black Hills, true. You're right.
You know, there's some actual
Most
wonderful,
of this country is
wonderful,
pretty
wonderful
pretty
stuff.
awesome.
I guess what
I
I'm
would
saying,
give-
I'm referring more to the housing and the
Oh, yeah.
lifestyle and so on and so
It's-
forth. That
You'd have to
the
eat
government
12
gave
pounds
them.
of undamaged potatoes, is what this says. I don't know. There was some report.
He's still way back on
It's
that.
on the potatoes.
That's because the
This
chat
guy-
room's talking about it. They're calling me out on it.
Whoa.
There was some. There was a report on, back in the day when, that report that came from the DEA administrative judge that said, marijuana doesn't serve any bad to society and it's not this harmful drug, and then basically reverted to this like poisoning of how potatoes can kill you. And anyway, that's what I was going on. But yeah, raw potatoes can kill you. Water can kill you.
Yeah, water.
Sun can kill you. Cancer can kill you. AIDS can kill you. Some sort of crazy infection can kill you. That door right there, if it were to like slam on me in a weird way, I don't know. I just was thinking like Final Destination shit here.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can fall and hit your head on the door handle and
Coffee
you're dead.
stir,
We need
who
that.
knows what that can do.
I try and think about that daily more and more. Of
We
like,
need the government to save you from yourself.
Yeah, I need myself to save myself from myself.
If you
That's
ever
all I
watched
need.
THX 1138, George Lucas's first film,
Yeah.
that's exactly where we're headed. If we're not gonna,
Why are you trying to
wake up with this
scare
one.
me?
Yeah.
If you're not scared already, I don't know.
1984.
Did you hear about the news?
Keep
story
drinking the Kool-Aid then.
Did you hear about the news story this weekend? We didn't get to this news piece today, but the Homeland Security was okayed in 2010, early 2010, to start building lists of reporters and bloggers. And so they
It's
have a
nothing
list of
surprising.
reporters and bloggers that would have something to do with national security or terrorism. So
They can deem
Keep in mind,
anybody
this has
a
happened
terrorist.
many, many times in history.
I never thought I was on a. I never
yeah,
thought I was on
yeah.
a list. I never have thought I would
You're
be on
on
a list.
my list.
I
Those who
didn't.
do not remember the past are doomed to repeat it.
I didn't think. I really, really,
Where'd you
honestly,
read that?
I swear to God, cross my heart, cross my heart.
Churchill?
Never thought I would be on a watch list ever. Not for John Doe Radio,
Go
nothing.
Start reading the
But I'll tell you what,
NDAA Act.
today,
You see how scary
National
it's about to get.
Defense Authorization Act signed
After-
on 31st of
December,
December.
yeah.
that was. Here's the thing: the 9/11 Patriot Act included almost
That's
all the
ridiculous
provisions
as well.
that
Right.
this thing included
You're-
here, and that's
you're
what people
absolutely right.
But it
forgot to
expands
mention.
it.
Is they expanded
Renamed
it by a
Plus
little
all the
bit.
executive
The only thing
orders.
it expanded it by a little bit was it allowed the president
just a
to be able
little
to
bit.
take rights from citizens.
That's all. Yeah, that's all.
But yeah, that's a pretty big thing.
That's it.
But it wasn't
Yeah, that's
anything
it.
different than what would have been
And
I
revoke
allowed
your
in
citizenship.
9/11.
but
And
here's the
revoke
big
your
issue.
The
citizenship.
Patriot Act, but the
Forget all
Patriot
these
Act
little-
did that anyway.
Forget all these pieces of paper. Let's go look at the approval rating of Congress. What is that, like
I talked about that
9%,
this past
right?
weekend. Yes.
Our founding fathers are flipping.
So
They're
we
not
have
even
a-
rolling.
so we
They're
have a-
flipping
so
in
we-
their grave.
we have
flips.
Absolutely.
And I
in
talked
their
about this
graves.
last Friday with the whole presidential debates and stuff. We have a full country full of people that want it to go a certain direction, that want things to go differently, but somehow we can't get it in that direction. Somehow we just
There's no
can't
leader.
go that way. But then we look back at the approval ratings of the president, and that's getting low. And with Congress and the Senate, and it is just worse than it has been in almost forever, ever. You know what the problem is? It's either one of two things: that the American public in general doesn't know what the fark they're doing and what direction to send things, which I believe that too. And two, the Senate and the Congress don't give a fark of what we say. So it's a combination of a lot of things. I really think the American public is really stupid and naive and sits on their ass and hopes for things to be changed. Just willing and hoping for change doesn't do anything.
No.
You feeling for that you sitting there watching that movie last night and you felt good and it made you feel good when you woke up, that changed your life. That didn't change
Yeah,
someone
but it
else's
changed
life,
it into
all
an
right?
unrealistic direction. And you bring up a really good point about watching movies. That
complacency.
Fantasy.
puts
Whole
a
suspension of reality.
thought in your mind which is unrelated and unrealistic to reality. So
Exactly.
unfortunately,
That's how people live in a movie movie life.
and that's really what our media is nowadays. The media is a movie.
Is our
If
life.
people think that that's
agree.
pure news nowadays, you got to be insane.
Oh, Jesus.
Absolutely lost in terms of your critical thinking skills. I hate to say that. And I agree with you to a certain extent in terms of the apathy of the United States. I think everyone has the capability of understanding this stuff. Unfortunately, because it's been going on for so long, for multiple generations at this point, and the media is completely on board, it's actually hard to see through this stuff. I mean, you guys remember when you first when you took that pill, that red pill? You remember what happened in the very beginning? You had a tough time really believing it, right? And you go back to your daily life and buy shit and watch TV and go to the bars and all this. But then as you started to move away from that, you started to go a little like back and forth, right? You had a tough time rationalizing it. It takes time to get into that space, that red pill space, where you wake up and see the, whatever you want to call it, the matrix or the rabbit hole. I like the rabbit hole better.
Definitely.
I wake up every morning and say, what grand and glorious adventures am I going to have? You know, I'm going to go find Alice in Wonderland and go eat and drink with her, you know? But my point being on this, though, is that
Alice in Wonderland was written in a dude with a serious migraine. Crazy psychedelic migraine.
the key to this, I think, honestly, obviously, is education.
It's a twisted tale.
And we are at this
real
point
story.
where, honestly, it's just like, you know this, Tim. Those of us who have faced prison or have faced trials or things like that, something happens to us where we no longer accept the norms, but we also won't accept no anymore. It's like I hate to say it this way, the traditional fear that we used to have. And I'm not going to say I'm absent of fear, but I don't have that fear anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of the government or people or institutions telling me what to do.
Trying to, hang this little dark cloud over you all the time and have this, that you are held in fear.
Yeah.
That if you aren't, this complacent, compliant little sheeple, then they can take you down any way they want. And it's, in a lot of ways, it is true. They do have the power to do it when they want to mess with you. But when you use the power of the people and you're able to, just like with Jason's case, be able to put it in the hands of sane people that actually look at this and say, this is ridiculous. What are you doing putting this guy on trial? But when you have, like you're saying with these other acts, where the president can literally strip all that away, where you lose all due process, that's scary.
So that's a bigger picture. It's interesting the cannabis industry has confronted all these issues over the last couple of years almost as a precursor to everything else that's coming.
Yeah.
We have, for some reason, been privileged, I'll say, to see what's coming.
Okay, if the Republicans, I'm going to ask you this, Jason, if the Republicans are for smaller government with less control, why haven't they picked up this and run with it? I don't understand. This is all about smaller government and personal
politics.
You're absolutely
States'
right, Patrick. If you were to go by traditional Republican values, you're absolutely right. But these people that call themselves Republicans are not.
Now, Ron Paul. Closest thing we have.
He's
closest thing that we have.
He's been, bouncing back and forth with that libertarian label too, right?
Yeah, well,
only because that the new definition of Republican is not what it used to be. It's not what it should be.
It's true.
It's these rhinos, these neocons, these dangerous folks who are corporate.
Neither is the Democrats.
Who have
that's kind of
exactly.
It's not just
it's
a
not about
one-sided,
one party or
far to the
another.
left.
Actually,
Saul-Alinsky style.
You bring up something that's important. Somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, you're a Republican, or this bill is a Republican bill. I'm not going to vote for it." And I'm sitting here going, "But it's a hemp bill. You wanted the hemp. You wanted hemp. You wanted to legalize this. You wanted to move in this direction. Oh, but you're Republican. What the hell does that have to do with what we're trying to get
one
done?
body,
I know.
two heads.
Exactly. That was the one thing that I really became so disgusted with Congress,
But that's
was
how people are
watching
thinking
them
now.
with Obama. Okay, maybe it's like you didn't agree with it. Okay, but just unilaterally, because he was the Democratic president
It's your
now,
guy.
you
Gotta
are
stick
not
with it.
going to let anything that he wants to go through to pass. They're going to fight it tooth and nail, even if it was something good. It's just because
Party line.
So what I'd have to say on this note is, those of you who are out there are listening, dive into the bills and the acts and petitions and so on and so forth that are happening in your area, and get involved. If there's something good
just
there,
takes one email, one phone
send
call.
an email. It makes a huge difference.
You'd be surprised how much of it stacks up. That one little bit, it adds up. You might think,
Go to the
3
Capitol,
minutes, 3
schmooze
minutes
the
out of your
people.
time, and that's it. Or go and talk to someone, make a phone call, write an actual letter. I mean, it's just one little thing. Everybody steps in and does one little thing. It's going to make a huge impact.
If you are able to complain about this stuff and point your fingers at what's happening on the news, take a third of that time and write that letter. You will be floored at what actually can happen. And it's not going to happen overnight. I started writing letters to all my congressmen and senators and representatives, years ago, and I saved every single form letter that I get back, of course.
Of course.
But I really believe that because of those letters, because of my being in the Capitol, because I make appointments with people to speak with them about these specific issues. On that note, I have a 12-year-old son. I'm worried about his kids and the kids after his kids, you know. It's something that we need to start thinking 20 generations down the road in terms of what I do now, how is that going to impact those people down that road? And so you can make a difference. That's what we are here for. This country was started because we all made a difference, right? This country wouldn't be here if we said, oh yeah, you're going to tell me what to do, right? If the British, if we took what the British were telling us for truth, where would we be today?
Well, this fight's not just really all about cannabis. It's just a fight for the freedom to, decide what to do for ourselves. That liberty that has been afforded to us by the Creator in heaven, or as the Constitution would say. Hey, that's what we're really up against, not just medical marijuana.
Well, to me, it's the basis of everything that we have here in America is all, it's shored up by the Constitution. And once you start taking that away, one part of it fails, the whole thing fails. If we don't uphold this, like I'm saying, with our rights, and people stand up for their rights.
And it doesn't
they're
matter
just
what
going
side
to
of
be
the aisle
eroded
you're on. It's
away.
liberty. It's liberty.
It will be eroded away.
It's like the firearm issue. I
Absolutely.
I open carry a lot, and I get positive comments from people. And then I hear people say to me, oh, well, don't you think that you're scaring people walking down the street with that? And it's bizarre to hear things like that, because in my mind, and a lot of people say this to me as I, go into a coffee shop or into a supermarket or wherever it is, they say to me, thank you for open carrying. At least I know that you're a good person. And what I get from that, and I have this conversation with people, a criminal's not going to open carry.
No, they're
right?
going to hide it.
They're going to hide it. So to me, the more we see people open carry or utilize their rights, whether it's freedom of speech, of gathering in places like this Occupy movement, I'm actually shocked at what happened in Denver Occupy. You guys, I have to say this, and I'm probably, speaking to myself, and all of this is all of our responsibility, but the state and the police, the law enforcement took away our rights.
Yeah,
we have a right to
peaceful
gather.
assembly.
We have a right to peaceful assembly. Yes, exactly. We have a right to express our grievances. Unfortunately, with that specific movement, it's been literally shot down.
It was.
Physically violent situations. That said, it's not something where we have to go back and curl up under our seats and turn the TV back on. In fact, I think we should be enraged by this. And maybe we shouldn't go back out and go, stand out there with our signs. Maybe this time we should actually write these letters. We should actually go to the banks. We should go to the Federal Reserve. We should actually have these local or specific targeted protests where we're not just yelling and screaming, but we're delivering, say, a stack of petitions that say, we don't want your company. Keep in mind, we can pull charters, right? We forgot that a company is granted the right to do business in our country, our state, based on a charter granted by the state, correct? I might have that a little mutated. But so we also have a right to take that away. So we need to start to utilize these tools that we have in front of us to address the attack, the literal attack that's coming at us from all angles, whether it's education, food, water resources, cannabis, healthcare. The list goes on and on and on. So if you think that there's nothing to do, you're just not looking in the right direction. And I don't mean us here. I know a lot of us are very active.
Complacent sheeple who, I'm just going to, do my time, punch my clock, earn my check,
Things will get better
go to
on
the
their
movies and life is happy. As long as I have what I need, then it's interesting. It's like I was saying, a lot of people that I've seen who've been against cannabis in particular is how much their attitude changes the minute somebody they love gets cancer or gets some other fatal disease
or their opinion about cannabis itself.
Yeah.
As well. And then all of a sudden finding out that it does something for them that they had no inkling that it would have before.
It's
thought it was just some hippie drug, or the
Well, that's it.
stigmatisms that we run with every day has made people.
Well, I'm sorry, when
back
I was
off and
when I was
not discover it as well.
as a kid, where I grew up and, in schools and stuff, you always saw this is a drug-free zone. And it always had this, red circle with the line through it. And what does it have? It's got a surgical needle and a pot leaf. So it was associated as from a very young age as a kid to me was that, oh my God, you smoke weed, that you are this evil delinquent
Yeah.
that is a burden on society, and you are a scumbag. It's
For sure, that's how we were made.
that's
feel.
what it was made, to look like. And it wasn't until actually, of course, that I developed my own personality and brain that I realized, wait a minute, this is not. I'm seeing this.
Hey guys, I
happen.
think you may be wrong.
Yeah, and
You were conditioned or brainwashed.
Oh,
as somebody would
absolutely,
say, right?
absolutely. I was to thinking that marijuana was
So
evil.
what
evil.
happened when you, quote unquote, woke up and realized that cannabis was not bad for you? What happened with everything else in your mind?
Where am I?
Do you
Well, you
really
have to
wanna
say, I
get him
did.
into
I
that?
do have to. Well, it's funny you say that because it did. It created actually a very rebellious personality in me. I became very rebellious towards everything then. It wasn't just that fun. It was like, to me, I'm serious. What would have worked with me is if they would have came to me when I was a little kid and said, "Hey guys, drugs make you feel good. Drugs can be fun. Drugs can, you can."
I probably
do
would have
this.
done a lot of drugs.
But the thing is that they're dangerous, and it's addictions. It might not. That one time you've got like Len Bias, who the first time he did one drug, bam, dropped dead. It's a risk you're taking. It's something that you have to know that, hey, if you are a responsible adult, you might be able to be a functioning addict. Okay, but. There are those people out there who can't control themselves.
Who wants to be a
won't able
functioning
to,
addict?
Who it doesn't matter what they start with. If they start with alcohol or a joint or tobacco or whatever, they're going to continue to
fries.
move on to next and other drugs, to harder and harder things. That's just their personality. It isn't that cannabis was a gateway drug. That was the biggest lie that was ever told to me. I know more people who use cannabis who won't touch anything else. Okay,
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous of what has been painted. It's educating people need to get out there. Number one, educate themselves if they can't, and educate others, and let people know that, hey, this is a good thing. This is not something bad, and this isn't a bunch of freaking stoners and potheads who just want to get high. I got into this to help people. That's why I'm a really good friends and a big fan of Jason Lauve here, because of the work that he does in helping the patients. This is all about helping. This isn't about scoring a bag before I go and hit the slopes. No, this is about people actually who have medical conditions and can actually improve the quality of their life. Then everything else that on top of it that you can do with this plant and hemp and all these other things that we've talked about today on the show.
Icing.
It's just icing on the cake. I mean, we're talking about human suffering. I mean, to be able to alleviate people and with a natural product and give them a better quality of life, let them sleep at night and actually get rest, that they actually can do something the next day, that they're not I'm sorry, I'm done right now.
No, don't apologize. You're absolutely right. Here's something that's kind of fascinating, and I hear this all the time. We talk to each other. We say, oh, look at all this can do. Hemp does this, and cannabis does this. And it has a whole plethora of ailments that it addresses, and so many things that you can make out of it.
What
and
can't
foods.
it do?
What can it do? And everyone, a lot of the public, a lot of the politicians out there say, oh, that's just a pipe dream. No pun intended there.
Don't.
But what I take from that is that people are just closed-minded, because let's turn around for a second and look at what we have around us. We have plastics, we have varnishes, we're standing on this carpet, I've got a wheelchair made from
Sound insulation,
rubber,
foam,
and
the mic
so
cover.
on and so forth. All this is petroleum-based stuff, right? So hold on a second. There is something like cannabis out there that does all these wonderful things, except it's dangerous for us. It's called petroleum. You make food from it, we make drugs from it, we make pesticides and herbicides and plastics and cars and fuel. Wow, it sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Except it causes harm to our health across the board. So it's interesting that we're in this situation where we have one thing that we're pulling from the earth, and I'll call it old sun, and I'll refer to Buckminster Fuller for this one. We're pulling old sun out of the earth, old sun energy, and we're using that to build stuff and waste and yada, yada, yada. But we have all this new sun coming to the earth all the time. But yet We've cut the trees down. We've destroyed the soil, so we don't grow plants anymore. Where's the green stuff, folks?
Yeah.
Where is all the good stuff with the new sun storage?
Well, it's to me, it's like you're also talking. I was talking to somebody about it this weekend of, hey, you've got a finite resource, and you're going to sit here and continue to make us more dependent on that finite resource. Why not try to move us away from that into something that's renewable? Like we're saying, that let it be solar and wind and perpetual motion with the ocean, whatever. But all these things that will never going to go away. Mm-hmm. Why aren't we becoming more reliant on those?
There's a wonderful book called Operation Manual for a Spaceship Earth, I think it's called. It's 42 pages. You can find it online. It's written by Buckminster Fuller. And he actually addresses some of this stuff about how we have this resource that we could use to get us to the place where we can use the renewable resources.
Absolutely.
So I tend to be one of those people who believes that petroleum is there for a reason. We do need it.
Oh, yeah.
But we have to use it for that specific use to get to that next
Well,
place.
I don't think that it's ever going to go away. I think that we're going to see for literally until we come up with a technology that we are able to defeat gravity, then we are always going to be reliant on petroleum products for transportation of large quantities of products on people. You're going to have aircraft, you're going to have ships, you're going to have semis, you're going to have to move things around, and until we get in something that large, electricity, the amount of power, unless you have basically like what a trolley does, a power line running all the way down the freeway to power this thing, we're not going to be able to have that. Planes don't run on electricity; they run on fuel.
It's a big one.
We're going to have petroleum products. We're going to have them until we defeat gravity.
It's not an overnighter.
No, and that's the thing. A lot of people think that we're trying to replace petroleum. It's about supplementing. It's about
exactly. We're
just
always
adding
going to need it.
A new
always.
component. Yeah.
But all the people, everything that we use in our day-to-day lives, of all these the cars and stuff, remove the automobile, the personal automobile, the fuel out of that system, or like we're saying, such more of a transition, a hybrid into these electric vehicles and stuff that we are. We're able to use.
That gets into an interesting conversation for sure in terms of where we go with that. I'll throw this at you. The reason we had cars in the first place was to go get away from the city and recreate, right? Today we use cars for transportation, commuting, business, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that what happened to that enjoyment with our vehicle?
It's just suburbia and the massive population just growing, and that's just a circumstance of the population growing, and we need to get places. So taking a Sunday trip to the mountains, it doesn't happen as often.
No, I haven't. I've only done that once or twice this year so far. I used to camp all the time.
I don't even have a car.
Well,
Somebody want to donate a car, email me, johndoe@johndoeradio.com.
You have nothing to offer to this
I
conversation.
need a car. I know, that's why I've been quiet. That's going to probably do it for today's show, unless you guys had anything
We're all
else to
getting
finish
tired.
with.
It's been a long day.
Oh, wow.
I can't be getting tired yet. I got to.
There's so much actually to talk about. Actually,
I got another 10
Patrick
hours of
brings
work to do.
This other subject up, which is big.
So,
what do you want to talk about again?
No,
Some
no,
other
oh
day?
no,
We'll talk
I
about
think
it
Jason
again
and I,
soon.
we get together, we could go on for hours and hours.
That's
just
cool.
Talk about
You guys
life.
should get your own show going on.
No, it's your show.
We'll
Pay
come
me to
visit
produce
you
it.
more often.
Cool, that'd be awesome. Big time thanks to you guys. Compassionate Pain Management. Make sure you check out 2 locations available, one in Louisville and one in Lakewood. Make sure you head to the one in Lakewood at 1585 Quail Street, number 13B. And that phone number, 303-232-3620, 303-232-3620. Edibles, all kinds of different holistic healing practices that they can offer you. You can schedule an
Acupuncture,
appointment.
too, right?
Acupuncture, yes, one of them. Reiki practices,
Massage
therapy, hot
Chinese
stone
herbal
massage.
medicine. There's several alternative medicine.
Have yourself an awesome time there and schedule something out and take care of yourself. Important to pick a place that not just cares about the greens. That is CPM. So holler at them. Also in Louisville, 303-665-5596, southwest corner of 1116-7 West Dillon Road. That's the address. Southwest corner, West Dillon and McCaslin. Once again, that phone number, 303-665-5596. 303-665-5596. Good times. Had a fantastic show today. Hope you guys had a fantastic show. Once again,
Thanks for having
Always.
us.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
exciting to talk about that hemp bill and get that out there.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about the hemp bill a little bit more too. That'd be cool, and talk about hemp a little bit more along the way. Make sure people head to mmapa.us, and when you go to order your tickets, enter in the code John Doe Radio, and it's a free $50 general admission ticket if you want to go to that gala, the Ganja Gala this Friday, the 27th. When you go to order your ticket, mmapa.us, you click on the link. When you order your ticket, enter in John Doe Radio, and free ticket for you. Make sure you enter in the John Doe Radio giveaways, John Doe Radio giveaway at gmail.com, free token top shirt or a Silver Surfer vaporizer. Put in the subject line what it is you're trying to win. We're pulling together more giveaways for you guys, too, very soon. So hopefully we'll have something for you Colorado patients soon, too. So it's good times. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Roper.
Certainly.
Have an awesome day, y'all.
From
Will do.
Compassionate
Good
Growers
same.
from Compassionate Pain Management, and also thank you, Jason Lauve, longtime friend of mine since I got back in here in Denver. I've known you and followed your case when it went on. Rob Corey was my lawyer, and when I say stuff about Rob Corey, I mean the best. I mean he's my lawyer. He saved me from jail for
I'm
2
right
years.
there with you. I totally
Saved-
see where you're coming from.
Totally got
I did the same thing.
Hey.
Did the same thing for you, but
He's another fighter.
put away the
in
flamethrower
cause.
for a second, Rob, please. Please. You can whip it out when they come in, all right? Whip it out when they come in.
Well, there's
Not
some people
now.
riding his coattails that are shining the light in other directions. But
Jeez. There's, don't even get me started.
yeah, that's another combo.
Thanks
Next
for hanging
time.
out with us. You can make sure you check us out tomorrow on Glass Tuesday, one of the most popular days on John Doe Radio, where we talk with Mad Hatter Smoke Shop. All right, have yourself a great day. Thanks to everybody else who makes the show possible. To Kim, to Phil Philman Phil. I appreciate that. People are loving the videos being up that we have. People just like visuals, and then having the actual audio from the show on top of it. It's not just the crappy audio or whatever. Go to youtube.com/John Doe Radio, and you should be able to find us there. If not, just go to johndoeradio.com, and the videos are put up as soon as I get them, usually late that night when Phil's done. It takes like 9 hours to process the videos, doesn't it? He's like, damn, dude, it's like crazy. I sit here and I smoke and I watch the video, and hopefully we don't lock up his laptop for too long during this time. We might have to figure something out here. So, all right, JohnDoeRadio.com is where you can go to get everything. Without littlemanhosting.com, you wouldn't have John Doe Radio. Without you, the listener, you wouldn't have John Doe Radio either. So thank you very much. Until we meet again next time, I'm your host, John Doe. See ya.
The John Doe Radio Show is produced by Cannabis Entertainment. The John Doe Radio Show programming is not limited to, but includes information on counterculture subjects and is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. We specifically include responsible marijuana reform. Besides, listening to anyone but your mother is just stupid. We accept no responsibility for your actions or misrepresentations, and we do not fully endorse the use of illegal drugs. You are ultimately responsible for yourself.
John Doe Radio.
Radio.